Well, the frustration boiling over during the break. Ryan Presley first, and then Paul Molitor ejected by Scott Berry as Presley comes off the mound.
Well, he can't sustain his frustration and says something to Scott Berry. He throws him out. Paul's probably telling him, and I know what this is about. Paul's saying, well, the guy's out of the game, and you're going to have rabbit ears and yell, you know, and that's frustrating. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the manager's appeal was. And why make an already miserable night worse?
Drew did not get the call on, thinking that he's going to get a strikeout. Look, in fact, I think it was against Russell Martin. Oh,
now he strikes him out. 3-2, and he turns. Rippinger.
Yeah,
Rippinger started to step out in front of the plate. Smiley walked off the mound, and Cash doesn't like this, and I don't blame Cash.
I don't blame Cash, but you know what? The home plate umpires don't like those motions that you see either. And so Kevin Cash is out here taking the bullet for Drew Smiley. Drew Smiley's frustration obviously ticking off Mark Rippinger. And Kevin Cash, sensing that, wants to keep his starter in the game, so he runs out and takes it for him.
Well, the fans back of the Rays dugout like what Cash just did there. Joe West, Joe's another guy that, you know, you're not going to have a long conversation with Joe either. And there'd been some conversations earlier out of the dugout with Kevin Cash.
But I will tell you this. When Drew Smiley, see how that's when he looked back at Mark Rippinger. And you start to do that. If there's too many, you know, body movements out there on the mound that a home plate umpire doesn't like, you put yourself at risk.
Well, somebody grabbing your leg can definitely break the rhythm.
They're calling it safe. Everyone wants to know, wait a second. How can he be safe if you implemented the rule where if you grab the pivot band, he's out?
Well, they can't say, well, he couldn't have got him at first. That's out of the equation there. So Robin wants to know why. You'd certainly rather have Chris Davis leading off an inning rather than coming up with a man on first and 2 out in a 1-run ball game. I don't blame Robert. If that's what they say the rule is, you can't grab the guy, and he grabbed him, I mean, that's BS. I mean, that's all it is. It's pure out-and-out BS.
Well, that's pretty much what Robin was telling Jerry Davis before he got the heave-ho.
Evidently, they told him something in New York that only Jerry has to relay to Robin. That's all he could do.
since then, since the trip that Neil Allen took to the mound. Whoa. What was that?
2-2. Barrios thought he had the inside corner.
John Ryan Murphy turning around to Jerry Lane.
Wow. Plenty of the strike zone.
He just got
and Murphy got tossed. And I would suspect the manager is going to be very right behind him. Now Murphy, in his defense, didn't take his mask off, and he, I'm sure, was quite audible. But the manager right now is going to have some words with Jerry Lane too.
Let's first of all look at the pitch. And Foxtrax had it as a strike on the inner part of the plate.
He did turn around.
He turned around, which is kind of a no-no, but aren't you allowed to question an umpire? My goodness, I mean, you can see Jerry Lane getting right back in his face and probably egged him into saying something. I call it baiting.
Now Kurt Suzuki will have to come into the ball game here.
And now CB Buckner is
Hosmer
going to hear it.
Haas is giving. Oh, he ran him. He ran Haas. And Haas is a little bit frustrated with some of the calls of CB Buckner, and you know, like I said earlier, these guys they're competing against Strasburg. They might see him in the World Series. You never know. So this is an important game for them, even though it's a blowout. And Hosmer didn't appreciate CB Buckner's getaway day calls. That's what it came over, and Haas chirped. Dude, he's not done either. Ooh.
Well, we don't know how long this was going on. I can't think it was going on too long because Hosmer was just at the plate. And at the same time, in a game like this, CB Buckner might be the only one in the ballpark that knows that Eric Hosmer was yelling at him. Now, if he was arguing with him at home plate and that carried on for too long, okay, that's one thing. But of the 30+ thousand that are here today, how many people do you think knew that Eric Hosmer was yelling at the home plate umpire, and maybe the umpire just needs to shut off that right ear?
Very small percentage.
Well, just as we were going to break, you could see that Chris Guccione tossed Girardi out, and then Girardi certainly got his money's worth. This is right as we were going to commercial, and Guccione throws him out, and it was obviously about what Girardi thought was a balk by Gausman. You can see he's talking about the pitcher and coming to a set, and this went on for the entire between innings period, so about two minutes, and Joe has been ejected from the game.
Well, he got his money's worth.
Trumbo with a ground ball to Torres. Nice play, and across the diamond, one away.
And the reason I say he got his money's worth, because as he was walking off the field going to the dugout, he turned around, came back out again. Yep, there's the Girardi being tossed out.
Now he walks away, and I don't know if he said something. Guccione said something because Joe wanted more. You don't see managers do this anymore because with replay, there's very little to argue about. You can't argue with the umpires in New York.